Hello everybody! Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear the music? Is everything looking good? Welcome to another stream, another Sunday stream with me. Welcome. Hope you are all doing good today. Hello. So today we are doing something really fun. I'm streaming in English. Today we are making a Demogorgon, but not the Stranger Things Demogorgon, so don't get it twisted. Okay, we are doing the D&D Demogorgon today. A classic combination of two baboon heads, tentacles for arms, and a humanoid torso with like dragon feet. For those of you who don't know, I've been running this challenge on my personal channel where I'm giving away a printer, free mentorships, and workshops with me. And to participate, you need to kind of sculpt along with me. It's starting to get a little late to enter. The deadline is the 20th, but if you're interested, join my Discord and you can, you know, participate and at least check out what everybody's making, which is like super dope and exciting. But anyway, this is the final sculpt, and I'm very proud and happy to be starting it here on the ZBrushLIVE channel. Let's get into it. It's going to be really fun to block out. It's a little bit much. Like, I'm just gonna say it now, like, it is a lot of work to do in, I have 3 streams to get it done. So I want everybody to wish me luck. I can't really show my screen right now, unfortunately, because I got a new monitor and it discombobulated all my setups. But if you're interested in what we're doing, just Google D&D Demogorgon, okay, and the skies will become very clear. Alright. Furthermore, I'm going to, instead of doing a normal baboon head, I'm going to do one of my favorite animals on Earth, which is the gelada monkey. Okay, we're doing the gelada monkey head. It's gonna be super awesome. So let's get into it. I'm gonna start out with our usual sphere situation. The head is very vertical. This is gonna be a tricky one. I can already see it, especially because I will be doing, if you guys have never seen a gelada monkey, search for gelada monkey fangs. And it's quite exciting, but like in a creature designer kind of way. So what I'm going to do, oh, I'm having a little bit of technical difficulties. Okay, I think we're good. It just just felt a little funky. I think my mapping for my, oh yeah. Oh yes, that mapping's a little off. Okay, I think now I should be better. Okay, if I can't use this, I will just figure out a different way. Everything in my life right now is up in the air as far as like my setup, my monitor, my everything, you know. So there might be a few problem moments. But all in all, we're just going to make like a very skinny, kind of vertical looking head. This is where the snout will be. I'm going to get a sharp kind of drop off, very close together eyes. Like this. I don't actually know what the rest of the head looks like, only the face, because of the gelada monkey has a enormous, let me make sure my mic is working. It has an enormous mane, like a lion. You can come in here and kind of start blocking out the brow, cheekbones, that's where the little eyes would go, a little bit of a ridge for the long nose. I've done a few things inspired by a gelada monkey before. This is probably going to be the most badass of them, or at least that's my intention. If it can turn out even a little badass, I would be extremely grateful. And I would pat myself on the back. So yeah, I've been spending this past 3 weeks making D&D minis. Some of them have gotten 3D printed, for example this one. There's a 2-inch base. It's an owl bear. It's can be improved, but still. I did it in 3 streams, which is not bad at all. Okay. Then we continue on. I'm gonna already kind of like start kind of creating the mask for where the top lip goes. Controlling where we're gonna have that jaw situation going. And I'm only gonna block out one head, and then we're gonna duplicate it once it's done. We'll probably have like a placeholder head taking up the space as necessary. Hi Fabien, to the bang. I'm gonna go ahead and already kind of block out where I want the mouth to go. Let's invert this. Turn it into like a 8-bit pixel art gorilla almost. I'm just gonna deepen that mouth cavity. This is how I notoriously do mouth actions, like with my creatures. It is a very chaotic process. It doesn't look so good, at least not until you improve it. The head is supposed to be actually much more slender than this. Let's go ahead and get that in there. Supposed to be much more chin as well. Does the fur print well, or did you have to adjust it for print? The fur printed almost completely well, although there was some areas that it didn't have enough contrast, so it came out a little flat. The feathers actually looked great everywhere except for the tail because they were too thin. So we're going to make it more, I guess, thick for the second round. And then I'm going to print it like 8 inches tall. I'm doing a baboon, so I am doing a baboon creature, specifically a Demogorgon from D&D, which is known for having 2 baboon-like heads. So we're blocking out 1 head right now. Kind of just putting in a little bit of that like chin. Rounding it out a little bit, but always looking at it from multiple angles. It's a creepy little guy. Give it that. This whole top here needs to be more vertical. This is an exercise in like me pushing what I think things should be like. Like my instincts say no, don't make it more vertical, but the reference says it needs to be more vertical, so the reference wins. Aqui, vi aqui aprender já grato. Ah, Fabiano, que bom. Adding the top of the head here. Then I'm going to kind of flesh it out a little bit more. I'm going to already kind of plan out how I want the top lip to go. Something like this. What a crazy little guy. Creepy. Creepy AF, if you ask me. Which is exactly what I wanted. Let's round this out. Boa noite, Eduardo, tudo bem? Ok. Você é brasileira, sim. Okay. I'm already going to add kind of like where the fangs are going to go. I'm starting to think this should be actually a separate object. Stay tuned, that might happen. That may be the case. yeah, let's make this a separate object just right now. I'm gonna come in here, clay buildup, and kind of like destroy that. New people coming into the stream be like, what is going on? What is she doing? Okay, then I'm gonna append this here. And then we can just remake that top part of the jaw. Oh, symmetry's off. Gotta make sure that that doesn't happen. This is one of those trust the process moments, isn't it? If I can even get the head fleshed out today, I'll already be so excited. Because this project is quite the chunker, scope-wise. What are you sculpting? You have 3 guesses. Regardless of what you guess, it's definitely a creature that will haunt your nightmares already, right off the bat. Acabei de ver seu portfólio, pelo menos pelo trabalho incrível. Obrigada, Kennedy. I have no idea, the classic Demogorgon was so bizarre, right? I think they show it in Stranger Things, but I can't say for sure. I honestly, like, after watching the latest season, by the way, no spoilers allowed, but after watching the latest season, I kind of want to watch the first one again. Okay, so I'm going to go to deformation, and I'm going to already, like, duplicate the top lip here. Not mirror it on the Y. Yeah. And I kind of already placed that down to go inside of the bottom lip. It's so creepy. I love it. So nondescript. It looks like one of those like plant-eating dinosaurs with the duckbills. You know what I'm talking about? Beats gorilla. Rafiki the Lion King. So we are making the D&D Demogorgon, who has a baboon face. Well, 2 actually. 2 heads, and they're both baboon heads. However, we are using a different kind of monkey as the head. We're doing a gelada monkey. Literally my favorite, one of my favorite animals, top 10. And it has the world's creepiest snarl. The reason being is that it turns its top lip inside out into a terrible snarl, and it has fangs bigger than a lion, or just as big as a lion. It looks like a lion. It's a savanna animal. It's grassland kind of thing. It eats grass with its huge freaking fangs. It has a mane, the same color of a lion's. You'll notice that I'm spending a lot of time describing it instead of showing it. It's because I can't show my screen too well right now. But just take my word for it, or Google it. Let's go ahead and see what Dynamesh does. Go a little higher. Sometimes you'll try to Dynamesh twice in a row and it doesn't work, and then you just gotta like put down like a little line or something, and then it resets. Our submission's due at midnight on the 19th or the day of the 20th. Day of the 20th. You have until basically midnight of the 20th. Does that make sense? Like, so you have the entire 20th to submit. Is it a personal project or a commission? It's a personal project, although it is part of a competition that I'm currently hosting on my own Twitch channel, where you sculpt along with me, and you can get up to $1,000 of prizes, including a 3D printer. So, like, yeah, it's a private, like, it's a personal project, but also it's so much more than that. God, this thing is gonna blow up on TikTok just because of that face. It sounds a lot that now I think about how much things are gonna blow up on TikTok as I'm making them. Can anyone enter, or do you want it to be students? Anybody, at all. I don't care. Maybe next time I'll do just the student one. Yeah, right now it's anybody. I'm gonna kind of already sketch in where I want the eyelids to go. Beautiful baboon eyelids. I always sketch it out inverted than most people would imagine. I kind of like take the Namian standard and I invert it to create kind of the outer edges of the eyelids. I think the snarl might also end up being a separate mesh, you know? You're so fast. I started mine in Blender today and it's gonna take me forever. Aww. Hey Anna, I'm Timmy, a big fan of your work. I love your workflow. This is actually the first time I'm catching up with your live. I love it. Oh, welcome. Welcome. Thank you so much for the kind words. I'm glad you're here. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so now we have one of the most hideous things I've ever sculpted, which means we're in the right track. That's how you know it's good. If it looks absolutely horrific, like within the first 40 minutes, or I've only been streaming for like 20 minutes. It looks horrific in the first 20 minutes, and that's how you know you have a winner. It's beautiful. How dare I say such horrible things about this beautiful baby, huh? I think I'm going to create the snarl in its separate gosh, what am I trying to say? In a separate subtool, just to kind of clean it up a little. This area here. I just do a sphere or something. Let's go ahead and add some eyeballs. I like to, whenever I don't have subdivisions, I like to do IMM primitives and choose the insert sphere. The eyes are not supposed to be so big. I'll just get them in there. I'm gonna make them a little bit bigger than I normally would because this is gonna be a small print. And so I want the eyes to be seen. And then I'm going to go to subtool, split, unmask points, and that should take off the eyes. We'll leave the eyes alone and then just kind of focus on kind of manipulating the mesh around the eyes for a second. Bizarre, absolutely bizarre. I love it. It looks like looks like something somebody would put in like a Reddit post or something, which is cool. I like that so far. I like that for us. Actually, I'm starting to think that I'm going to keep the snarl as it is. Just less work. And then we can just make it work. If I can't, then we will take it off. And by take it off, I mean use a separate subtool. Kind of define a little bit more where the fold would normally go, like right there. That. Then kind of like where the little teeth would go. There we go. I kind of want to update something in my streaming UI in a second, so I'm going to finish these little teeth holes and then update it. Give me a second. now we have a little bit of preview of what I'm working on so people can be less confused. Drop your Discord when you can. Here, I'm gonna drop all my links, and then inside of my link tree, there is my Discord. There it is. Can you guys see that? Okay, like on my personal channel, I have trouble with the restream bots. I'm kind of late for this challenge. Probably won't be able to skadoodle 3 creatures in 2 days, but it will be cool to see what other people make. You won't believe what other people make. It's like so good. So good. Ridiculous. Like, I've been put to shame multiple times. And that's what I wanted, I guess. There are some like truly amazing models out there. And people are being creative. Somebody did a panda bear owl bear, which is like totally out of the box for me. I enjoyed seeing that. I'm gonna create more tension with the shape here, if I can. I love how hideous it is. Hi Octopus Lady, how are you? I'm good, how are you? So I'm really hoping that that name doesn't catch on. But at this point, I think I do understand why. Okay, let's add some teeth. So for the teeth, I'm going to do the same thing as before I take off the floor. Insert spheres. I always do spheres for the teeth. It's probably not the most efficient tool for the job. And let's turn on local symmetry so it doesn't get away from me, and just kind of make those fang-like. I need to decide if they are supposed to go outwards. Yes, they are. Taper. Thicker at the top, thinner at the bottom. Thank you, accept. Then the former. I'm going to flatten it out a little bit. Expand the roots. Curve it. I made it too chunky. We turn that down. See if that's curved enough. Yeah. Accept. Then we can just kind of boink that back into place. Oh, I didn't make it curvy enough from the front. Whoopsie daisy. We're gonna do that again. Deformer again. Rebend curve might be the way to go for this one, this part. And just dun dun dun. Call it a day here. Okay, close. These things have crazy teeth. Not just my design, but also the monkeys in question. Gonna go ahead and split unmasked, or cancel unmasked points. That way the teeth get split off. We're gonna use the same teeth here that we use for the top, for the bottom as well. But they're gonna be much smaller. Good sculpt so far, thank you. Solid 20 minutes of work, 25 minutes of work. So I'm going to duplicate this. Go to the formation, mirror on the Y, so that it mirrors upside down. Then we're going to just rotate that into position, make it smaller. Put that in the canine spot underneath. And if I'm not mistaken, the bottom teeth are supposed to be in front of the top teeth. We gotta make sure that we don't mess that up. Yes, they are. So I'm gonna have to kind of move the positioning, and then I can just move the gums around it. This goes there, and also inside like this. And then a little bit less curvy. Not by a lot, and then much less pointy. Just gonna smooth it down until it's less pointy. Like that. Good enough for the blockout. I think actually it should be a little longer, but not by much. Either way, I don't want to see this guy on a dark alleyway at night, you know. So there's that. Oh, I can hear myself. Sometimes I'll like mess up a button or something and then all of a sudden I can hear myself. All right. Let's do the more human-like teeth. We're gonna do spheres again. So brush insert sphere, primitives. Go for sphere 32 whenever you're blocking stuff out normally. It's a good call because it's less high poly and it gives you more control. Flatten that out. Rotate, lengthen. Rotate if necessary. Maybe make the whole thing smaller. For this one, I'm just gonna use the good old move brush. And maybe a little pinching to make the root area more slender. Like that. Then better rotation. Hi Ali, how you doing today? There needs to be more space between the canines and the front teeth. Funny, actually, they're too round a little bit. And control drag. Make these bigger for the front. Not too much bigger. Rotate them as necessary. Position them as necessary. I am Brazilian, yes. That is why my name is very Brazilian. And I do stream in Portuguese every other week here. So next Sunday, I'll be streaming in Portuguese. Let's fix up those gums. Yes. These gums need to come forward a lot. Right there. But then we also need to mirror these little teeth down. Mirror, mirror, mirror. It's under deformation. And mirror. On the Y. Not like this. On the Y. Oh, I forgot to did I not duplicate? Yeah, it would seem that way. First you gotta duplicate so that you don't get rid of the old one. Deformation, mirror on the Y. And then you can just kind of put that in place. Leave that there for now. And Paul, and quick save. Tá explicado. Acompanho todos os seus vídeos aqui. Sério? Que legal. Obrigada. Alright, I'm gonna leave the back teeth for later because that's a little boring. Let's do something more fun. I'm going to make the eyes bigger for effect. More demonic, I guess. I like to make threatening creatures' eyes small because small eyes, in contrast with the rest of the body, make the creature, one, look more scary, but two, make it the body look bigger. And so it's a good idea if you're trying to create a creature that is supposed to look big. Next, I'm going to kind of like start fleshing out a little bit of these shapes around here. They're very messy. I'm not totally sure about it. The two references I have are a little contradicting right now. So that's not good. I always tell my students to not let that happen, and look at me. Hello Pixis, welcome to the stream. This thing is Nightmare Fuel. I'm loving it so far. I hope you guys are having a good time so far. I am doing just fine, enjoying it. It's nice to know, like, on a Sunday that, like, later I get to stream and hang out and work on something that makes me happy. Whatever it may be. Although, I'm gonna be honest, not every work I've ever done has made me happy on stream. Now that is for sure. So I'm missing kind of some curves here. Just kind of come this way for like effect. Still kind of trying to work this stuff out because we're supposed to get a lot of wrinkles right here as it kind of goes around the mouth. Like this whole mass right here. Streamline a little bit of this stuff here. Kind of maybe even leave a little clay build-up strokes. Then I'm going to start creating a little bit of that. Highlighting that tension. Berry dominando assim. Let's go ahead and block out the furry head. Nothing too crazy right now, it's just going to be a small mane because there needs to be two. There needs to be two manes. And I'm going to go for the shape of the gelato monkey mane, which kind of has like almost like a classic cartoon cat like sideburns, I guess. Será que esse é mais difícil do que o Albert? Eu acho que sim. O Albert é mais simples de formato, sabe? Só o cabelo que dava trabalho. Esse aqui tem muita coisa acontecendo nele. Gotta append a sphere. Move that over here. Snake hook is going to be useful. I actually clicked the wrong things. Snake hook, make sure the symmetry is on. Maybe AccuCurve should be on as well. So I'm going to open up the brush thingy here. Turn off material, go to brush, bring that in. Curve, AccuCurve. This will make the curve end in a sharp point like this, which is actually kind of cool. Very helpful. Gonna take my diamond standard, kind of create like the hair part in the middle because that's how the original monkey design kind of is. Then we're gonna start shaping. I think I'm gonna have it peak right around here. I'm gonna make the whole thing more round though. Grab a little move brush, you know, round that out a little. Terrifying, I love it. Soft spot in my heart for the scary stuff. I need much more volume back here as well. Gonna give him a little bit of just kind of like a finishing point here for the hair. Oh, I don't want snake hook 2, I want snake hook 1. Maybe a little bit instead, just kind of show where the hair's gonna go. Barker, boa noite. Are you working with some reference? Yes, I am. Normally I show my reference on stream, but my setup is a little weird today, and it's not working, so. But if you look at the top right, you can see what I'm creating. Nothing I've done so far in the stream today has been very creative because we're just using a gelato monkey's head as the head for our Demogorgon. So okay, we have kind of a blockout. Hooray for us! And I've only been streaming for 40 minutes or so, so that's not bad. Let's add a tongue. I'm gonna go ahead and append a sphere since it's gonna be like central. At least it looks like he's biting something, right? That might be an idea for TikTok later. Squish that tongue down, rotate that, squish it down on the other side, put it in its position. You guys have any idea how often I do this? I should just save out a tongue IMM, and I still haven't. Getting standard, gonna take a little symmetry and just kind of draw a little line down the middle. And then what I always do is underneath I do an inverted line, like this, and then I kind of go like that. Kind of create more of that nice edge around the tongue, and that's enough for a tongue blockout normally. Another way. Okay. Next, what we need is a humanoid body. I don't think I'll be sculpting one from scratch. Maybe. What do you guys think? Scratch or not scratch? There's so much to do. I really want to do one from scratch. It's been so long since I've done like anything humanoid, I think. Like months. Scratch. Binkyman says scratch. Okay, we'll do a little human torso from a scratch. A little out of practice, so. I still kind of need to ZBrush, and let's see how your process goes. Okie dokie. Okay, let's stretch your little arms first. Get ready. Sculpt something from scratch. My hair's all crazy. Very wiry. Cracking my back. Eduardo, na blockagem design, você se preocupa com como a criatura funciona mecanicamente? Tipo assim, mecanicamente na animação ou mecanicamente na vida real? This is my favorite one from the series so far. Nice! I'm about to attempt Sculpt All Might. Oh, nice. Very nice. Okay, so let's do the little body then. I'm gonna start with sphere. Append a little sphere. Here it is in the mouth again. Make this sphere bigger. I like to flatten it out a little bit this way. Make it longer. Bigger. Longer. We're just gonna have it float, okay? Because like the necks, I'm not sure if I'm gonna need a neck. And also, let's mention the it's supposed to have 2 heads at the end of the day. So we're gonna just ignore the neck part until we got everything else a little bit more fleshed out. And we're just gonna kind of work the silhouettes. I'm going to use my handy dandy trusty, what do you call it? Scale master, because I can tell that something's off with the scale here. Scale master, scale unify. I'm just gonna make everything a little smaller so that my brush can be bigger. And I'm just going to kind of start fleshing out what I think the silhouette of a human torso looks like. Specifically a very buff one. Buff human action. We're gonna go as far as the delts right now. Although of course we will have to go further later. I'm also going to stop at the pelvis. Underneath the pelvis. And I'm just gonna add like kind of like this hole for the legs here. Okay. So then I'm going to take my damn standard and kind of start kind of mocking in some stuff. Booty. Everybody needs a booty. Straight line down the center. Okay. Then we can kind of start, once I have landmarks in, we can kind of start taking it a little bit further. And this guy's supposed to be pretty built, so I always tend to err on the side of making my characters too average. So yeah, bit of a ribcage effect, a bit of a pull up here, solo this out. Cavity, little hole for where the arms would go. Sketching, sketching, sketching. Look. And I need a little bit of base. Like, basically the space to sculpt is what I like to call it. And then go from there. I think the whole thing needs to be a little more spaced out different. Add in the little belly. Boa noite, Gilmar, tudo bem? That rib cage kind of blocked in all around. And I can go ahead and insert sphere situation here in the little armholes or our delts. Otherwise I would just keep getting confused. What are you sculpting? I am sculpting a D&D creature, the Demogorgon. It is a humanoid with 2 baboon heads and a humanoid torso, tentacle arms, dragon legs, and I think it's got like a dragon tail as well. I feel like I need to block in the neck or I will keep getting confused. Like, one thing I learned is that whenever you're trying to, like, even if you're doing like a study of only one part of the body, you need to do a little bit further, a little bit more parts of the body, because with the cutoff points can really throw you off. So. Clavicles in there, left out. Nipples are essential. I haven't really done much with the abs yet. think I'm gonna just beefcake him. It's just his destiny. There's nothing any of us can say to avoid this fate. In a second, we're gonna take a little break to find some reference. Otherwise, I'll just do this whole thing without reference, and we all know that that's not a good idea. Using my, this is ZBrush. How long does it usually take you to sculpt a creature like this off stream? Same amount of time it takes me, well, actually it takes me less time on off stream because then I'm not talking to people or reading their messages. But like only by, I used to say on stream was twice as slow. Now I think it's not quite. Let's give him some traps. I'm working with Demagogo for the contest too. Nice. Is it okay to use your hashtag on Insta even if it's not for the challenge? Yeah, you can use, well, depends. What are you trying to use it for? Because the contest one is more for me sharing the contest stuff, but you can always tag me like Anna Carolina Arts. Speaking of which, make sure to follow me on social media if this is your first time seeing me and my work, seeing my stream. On social media is where I give all of my announcements, free giveaways, things like that. I also have a Discord server of thousands of 3D artists that are all wonderful, like polite people. We can share tips and tricks, tutorials, resources, show off your work, get feedback on your work from pros, give feedback on other people's work as well, and so on. I also do a mentorship, which is currently sold out, as usual. It's always sold out, but sometimes the spot opens. So if you're interested in learning one-on-one with me, wanting me to help you with your career and things like that, then please join the waiting list on Gumroad. And you can also find my 3D sculpting workshop membership, which contains so many goodies, hundreds of hours of lessons from me, and live access to my live lessons every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central or Eastern Time, and things like that. I missed your normal stream yesterday, but I just got back from church. Well, that's a little weird because I don't stream yesterday. Are you talking about the portfolio workshop? So for those of you who don't know, I did teach a workshop yesterday on how to build the perfect portfolio for 3D artists, no matter what kind of 3D artist you are. To access that, you have to go through the membership in my Gumroad. I'm making a lion head, and I'm using some of your tips that I saw on a stream of a tiger you made on ZBrushLIVE 10 months ago. That one was a long time ago, yeah. I saw that it went trending again, which is super weird. Like, you'll make a stream, right, and nothing happens, and then like 10 months later, all of a sudden it's trending, and it's getting suggested to people on YouTube. Kind of have like a mild blockout here, like it's nothing amazing. Let's go ahead and find some reference real fast. You guys can't see this. Sorry about that. I'll fix this problem for next time. I'm gonna give him a second head, definitely. I'm sculpting symmetry first. Yeah, it's much more, it is much more, how do I say it? efficient with my time if I do symmetry first and then break symmetry as necessary later. We're gonna need to make this guy like double wide because he is, again, as was mentioned, he is going to have multiple heads, so we need that room in there. A bit hollow in here. Pretty deep cage, or pretty deep, what do you call it? Spine. Better pecs. Kind of come up higher. Love the topic about time and human consciousness in that stream. I don't remember the exact conversation, but that does sound like me. That does sound like something I would talk about. Alright, let's block in the legs now. Go ahead and quick save just in case. You know how it is. I have like dragon legs. Good old little dragon legs. You guys know how I like making some dragon stuff, so it's a win-win for me, but I'm going to use these spheres for this one. It's a little easier for me. Z-sphere, grab that Z-sphere. Move it down. I'm just gonna kind of fit it into that leg socket right there. I guess hip socket. That's what most people would call this. Oh. There. Then a knee, and I like to keep my Z-spheres pretty simple. Minimal almost. Knee. Spread them out a little so that like dynameshing doesn't ever do anything bad. Then feet. And I'm not going to put the toes in here because it's much more efficient for me to copy and paste one beautifully made toe towards the end. I think that's too long. I think that's too long. I think we need to bring that in a little bit, or at least like pose it so it's not as long. What do you guys think of this? And how's the process for making the final result ready to use in game company with UV, face rigging, and other necessary requirements? Or is there a ZBrush class for it? I'm not sure if there's a ZBrush class for it. I know I'm making one, but of course it's not out yet, unfortunately. So what you need to do is you need to normally retopologize to get it to the right poly count, but also the edge flow needs to be very nice, perfect for animation. Then you need to sorry, distracted by these views here. Then you need to UV, basically make sure that there's a 2D space for the textures to be applied. Then you need to texture it, of course. Rig. Or facial mocap, it's a whole other thing, and there's a million ways to do it. There, as far as I can tell, there's no real industry standard, no, there is industry standard, but no industry consensus on what that should look like. I'm gonna go ahead and make adaptive skin. So adaptive skin, Dynamesh resolution to 0, make adaptive skin. I'm gonna go ahead and hide this existing subtool, which could be useful later to reposing. And then I'm going to append the one that just got created. Here it is. And then we're gonna mirror it to the other side. So for this time, we're going to do geometry, modify topology, mirror, and welds. Oh, multiple subdivisions. Oh, local symmetry. Why? Oh, there. Local symmetry will sometimes do that. So if that ever happens to you, just make sure that local symmetry is turned off temporarily. I'm just gonna start shaping this guy's little legs. Oh god, I don't have symmetry on. Ripperonis. This is something that really got my students. So this summer I taught high school students how to do ZBrush, and symmetry being per subtool and not like global really threw them off. But I understand why it's per subtool, because you can set like Z symmetry and stuff like that for certain ones, and you don't want it to mess everything up. Happy Sunday, Moon Running. Good question, do you build worlds or avatars or both in VR? Both, and even more, yeah. Yeah, let's go ahead and take a screenshot of the hideous face in the bottom corner so that people know what's going on. Take a little drink. And I think for the arm blockouts, I will also use spheres. And I'm gonna leave the tentacles out of it for now. Because why not? I'm gonna turn this into part of the booty. The booty. I do have booty tricks for later for you guys to know. Like for example, how to like make it really nice and closed, I guess. So hopefully I'll get to that today. So the arms, based on the concept art, it seems like they got normal arms down to the biceps. No. They don't even have that. They have like arms down to the biceps and then like tentacles coming out of the elbow. But they remerge and unmerge in weird ways. Gosh. Do you guys ever hurt fields? And keep friends tries these two short limbs. Yeah, I don't. How much time does this sort of workflow usually take you along with detailing, painting, and maybe posing? Also, are you going to retopologize this character? Little snitches. So, I don't know how long this character is going to take me because it's kind of crazy. But I'm hoping to get it done in 8 hours of streaming. So it's 8 streaming hours, which would probably be like 6 normal hours. I will paint it, do a basic paint job here in ZBrush. I will not retopologize it because it is going to get 3D printed, and then it's not necessarily a part of the workflow that I need to do. I might ZBrush it once I Dynamesh everything together. Well, actually, I definitely will ZBrush it once I Dynamesh. So, yeah. let's get some Z-spheres going for the arm situation here. Actually, I don't even think I need that because it's just biceps and then weird tentacles. Yeah, let's just do a sphere. Keep it simple. Append a sphere. And then we're gonna make sure that it's not like too close to the body, of course. Because we don't want it to like get Dynamesh together. That would be annoying. Nice meaty arm. Gotta come out of the right place though. Then kind of come here and raise that up. That should be enough. Then mirror in well. And I already. Oh gosh, as usual, I keep forgetting symmetry today. Rip. Nice, because I'm just starting out with 3D characters and I'm working towards objects on my iPad. Nice. Nice. Love hearing about what you guys are up to and whatnot. Okay, let's go ahead and Dynamesh all the stuff. A quick save first, just in case I change my mind about how to do it. So that way I kind of have like a backup. Gonna merge this down. Merge down, so now it's all one. And then let's see what it looks like with the current amount of Dynamesh. Fine. Move out some stuff. Or maybe a clay polish, let's see where that gets us. It's not bad actually. Very neat. Kind of smooth out some of this leg stripes situation we've got going on here. This might be something with the color, or am I crazy? No, there's no color problem. It must be the clay polish. It's really hard to get rid of. Oh, that's masked. Derp. Derp, derp, derp. Okay, so then I'm gonna start properly doing this thing. Add that puree. But there's gonna be a tail there. Anyway. And just kind of defining some areas on this thing. And then we go from there. Having a good time, one and all. Don't want to get too crazy with it, but also want to get some shapes started to block in. Just a little something, something. I have this very particular way I like to block this kind of thing in. See, a lot of artists make character blockouts all the way to mid-frequency details without using Dynamesh all that much. Is it a bad workflow habit to constantly use Dynamesh when blocking out? What do you mean without using Dynamesh all that much? I feel like you either use Dynamesh or you don't. Can you explain? Demogorgon King Kong size. I have no idea how big the Demogorgon is supposed to be. En alto, Treng. We're just gonna pretend that this deltoid situation never existed. have a set of VR headsets. How can I find your world? Is it in VR chat? No, I don't do VR chat. You can't really find my worlds. They are private for clients. I wish you could. Maybe in the future I'll do something public. Let's solo this because this neck is literally a huge mess. Let's first smooth it out. Maybe turn the smoothing intensity up even a little bit. Kind of locking some stuff in to kind of help me get my bearings here. Not that it matters too much because, like I said earlier, neck's gonna get absolutely destroyed because we need to have two heads, not one. I just noticed I use Dynamesh constantly when trying to make characters, and I was wondering if I should jump into subdivision ASAP when reaching mid-frequency. Oh, is that what you meant? Okay. Yes, I would. That's what I do. Vein traps. Now let's just beef them up a little. More, I guess. Especially so he can stand when we 3D print him out. I always have a habit of making the spine too deep. Can't believe I let you guys trap me, talk me into doing this from scratch. I should know better. Are you going back to like gray hair? So gray hair is really hard to maintain. This is supposed to be gray hair. Imagine a lot of snake hook in the future. I've already used quite a bit of snake hook, but whenever it comes to like more fleshing stuff out, a move is pretty good. I know someone who makes worlds for clients as well. I can't wait to get on that level. It shouldn't be too long now. Nice. Good luck. You got this. Does this thing wear clothes? Oh, it would seem not. Are you sculpting in perspective? Yes, I am. This is what it looks like without and with. Let's go ahead and block out the tail. I don't know what's going on with the tail. Oh, it's just got bony endings. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I'm just gonna put a tail in just so people know what's supposed to be. So I'm gonna use the curve tube brush. I'm going to go to stroke, modifier, size, and I'm gonna make the beginning smaller, middle larger, and the end a lot more thin. And then just gonna add in a little tail. Oh, probably not too tail. it's good enough. And this is literally just to kind of showcase what this thing's gonna look like. It's not at all part of the real model. Same thing for the arms, so this time I will use symmetry. And just kind of like show off a little bit of what's going on here. Oh, it looks like in a lot of models he does have forearms. Shoot. Maybe I should add some forearms. Maybe I'll just like fake some forearms. Then we're gonna split these. And then last but not least, to finish up the blockouts-ish parts, we're gonna just like fake some toes. I like to use cubes. Toe cubes are the best, okay? No lie. Let's take a little bit of move brush. A bit of smoothing gets you a toe-ish shape. Control drag, make that smaller. Great. Perfection. Let's go. Mirror and weld. And 10. And 10 toe action. So now we basically have all the parts. Basically have all the parts. So I can take a moment and stretch again. And then we can actually start like properly doing some stuff to this. All in all, this took less long to block out than I thought. So I'm pretty encouraged. But you know how it is, the blockout tends to be the fast part in a lot of cases, so actually like getting everything to look good is a whole other story. Looks like this is pretty high poly. Tactical baboon. And he's gonna have 2 heads. Hi, back Chud. Juma, it's called a Demogorgon. Demogorgon. And it's from D&D. And it's the final sculpt of my challenge, in which I'm giving away a printer and a bunch of other prizes. Guys, I need you guys to give me a moment. I'm gonna be right back, okay? guys doing since I left? Good, hopefully. So yeah, gray hair is really hard to maintain. I'm kind of like not in love with it. Not to mention like I tried getting it like lightened at the hair salon here in the United States, and the lady messed it up and made it brown, and it sucked. Really didn't like that. Just trying to recover from that moment, but yeah, I think I might just go back to blonde because that's the problem. God, the Demogorgon got us while you're gone. As long as it was the D&D type Demogorgon. That's my favorite rendering engine, so right now my favorite is Unreal 5, but I'm learning Cinema 4D Redshift, so hopefully soon those will be my favorites too. Now we're just kind of gonna flesh out this guy anatomy-wise a little bit, you know, make him look more interesting. Try our best to get going. Fascinating. Area can definitely be a little tricky. Just hid the head because it was kind of taking up a lot of space and confusing me. But we had to say bye. Emperor. For the gods. You're looking kind of built though. Acho que é um personagem notável pra vocês. E brincadeira de criança. Talento muito bom. Obrigada. I mean, Brown is looking good too, don't get me wrong. Blonde is gonna be fired. Hey, and I'm good just hanging out and sculpting Demogorgon with you. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Can't wait to see it. Build him up little bit by little bit. At the very least, getting like a little bit of like, the whispers of anatomy in there. I'm gonna write a book, Whispers of Anatomy, after I write my current book. don't know how bulky I want to make the abs, but probably pretty bulky, right? I think the answer here is always just more beef, more beefcake. Can't go wrong with more steroids in this case. This guy has to lift so much weights, like he got tentacle arms. I can't imagine that that's easy to carry around, you know? So... And also he likes to kill people, I guess, so that's also pretty physical labor. Serratus. That is one of my weaknesses. Just gonna throw a whisper of anatomy in there too. And then get back to it once it's time. Once the time is right. Give that bicep some weight. It's like looking floaty AF. One of the tricks to bicep is just biasing it down. It's too bad that got some armpit gluage here. Should have thought that through. He has fight adventurers every day. Current look is the book is Demogorgon Anatomy 101. You know, I'd say it's even more than his hobby. It's his purpose in life. He's put here on this earth to fight adventurers, and that's what he's going to do. Right? I wonder if I can get this channel banned on accident. This guy. I doubt it. There's nothing wrong with him. If it was a female sculpture though, instant ban. That's how you know your sculpt is good. Like whenever you are like making like female anatomy and like the YouTube algorithm blocks the video because of nudity, that's how you know it's good. We're doing adventures, hobby to a career at the Demogorgon's Tale. Hi IR Sculpt, how are you doing today? You came at a fun time. How you doing? What are you doing? We're just fleshing out this creature. Nothing more. I'm good, just chilling, saw you were live. How are you? I'm doing good, very good. A little hungry, but like that's me every stream. Like I really don't plan my snack times well lately anyway. How are you doing? What are you up to today? I mean, I guess you just said it, right? Chilling. We need a lot more definition in this area, so let's get it. Starting to feel like I overscoped this final task of the giveaway. No, wait, 2 minutes. I'm gonna go for more like dragon anatomy from the thighs down, or like the knees down. We gotta get this to look. I missed like a whole muscle. Oh, nice. I'm hungry too. Ribs be happening very soon. Oh, I'm so jealous. Ever since I moved here to Florida, I haven't really made any friends, which is my fault because I've been workaholicing this whole time. And so it's been so long since I've done things like that, you know, like a barbecue or pool party. But I see it as a investment, at least. Will pay off. Thankfully, shouldn't go too much problems. Kind of. The fat in between the thighs, or like this mass right here, it's always a problem. Sometimes I straight up like take off symmetry, hide one leg, do this, and then I just mirror weld after. Looks okay, I guess. Like blend this out. I think we're going a little too wild and crazy here. Yeah. I need speed. It's late in the night, it seems. I think Demagogue should have been first and Greek last. Yeah, you're right. Maybe. Just cover him with hair, it will confuse the algorithm. You are building community here. Churrasco brasileiro aqui em Tampa, semana que vem, então. Semana que vem, por acaso, vou estar no Brasil, comendo churrasco brasileiro. I've done something wrong along the way, and we will fix it as we go. Doing stream for another 20 minutes on this channel. Making the scales for the legs is what I'm looking forward to the most. I might bias the whole thing towards like mini scales, actually. It's all about community, woot woot. It is. Let's save. We've done a lot of work today. Let's save. Entre as referências, sim. Starting to not like the hair shape. I think we're gonna go for something more edgy, like standing up. Although I do like the awkward, like almost looks like a good boy's part, you know? Somebody who brings apples to the teacher every day. More metal. I was gonna say something. I thought you had autosave on. I do have autosave on, and also I manually quick save as well whenever I feel like I'm at a stopping point, just to make sure. Or right before I do like a big operation, like remeshing or something. Let's check to see if I'm missing anything. So, oh, it looks like we got spikes on the shoulders, which we can easily add later. Weird alien skin everywhere else. This thing is a cluster. Let's just say that. He has spikes sticking through the hair. Through the hair. Anyone else spend too much money on takeout? Right now I'm spending very little money on food because I was sick with like digestive problems, like straight up at the hospital. And ever since I got back, I've been like eating nothing but like extremely safe foods. Uh, Nothing fun. Only bread, rice, vegetables, chicken, or tuna. Um, and basically like no fat. Fat-free yogurt, pickles. Pickles are nice. They don't have any fat, supposedly. And things like that, yeah. Just being real careful not to go back to the hospital. Kind of want to stay out of there, if nothing else because of the bill size. I think the thighs need to get longer, guys. I think my original idea for thigh length is wrong. No, I had a gallbladder problem. I think I'm gonna have to make the head bigger at the end of the day. Okay, let's block out a little bit of the legs with that dragon feet situation. Dragon feet. Okay, I'm gonna start by kind of widening them. Widening the area here. Need more of a base to stand on. Bleach polish for the bottom. Kind of flatten it out a little bit. Then I'm going to kind of like split it into three. I kind of have like the whiskers of big old toes coming down this way. A little wobbly. A bit less wobbly. Still can't help but feel that the legs are the wrong size. What do you guys think about the leg size? think you're right. I kind of wait for the positioning to really be able to tell. If I'm stoic. The head will have to be a little bit bigger, yes. Right now I'm kind of in an analysis phase because blockout's like basically done. Now it's time to move on to something else. More like the fleshing out, and just continuing out with the anatomy and things like that. Must the mesh be sculpted before it can be 3D printed? I don't really understand how 3D printing works. I saw your goat and dragon prints and was amazed at how detailed and lifelike they looked. So it doesn't necessarily need to be 3D sculpted, it can be 3D modeled as well, which I know is a very semantic thing to answer. But yeah, it must exist in 3D space before it can be 3D printed. Nice soundtrack for this. I feel like it matches. Let me put some spikes back here. Let's get two, will take up more space. Suppose you're right as well. Hi Mud Samir, how you doing today? Welcome to the stream. I feel like a tuft of fur there. Bit too buff, the concept seems leaner. Oh no, I don't know. There's a lot of concept art and all of them are pretty buff. Why does my model look so much more blocky with more active points than yours? You probably went up too much, too fast. You probably need to work the primary forms much more before you can go up. That is the trick. And boy, is it a hard one to learn. Nobody ever wants to do it, but it pays off, trust me. I think for this one, once I pose it, I'm going to actually rig it in Maya. And I'm going to pose it in Maya and then just fix it up in ZBrush. Because I'm kind of disappointed with how the pose of the owl turned out. I need to rework that. My schedule is just so chaotic right now. Like, I know it sounds like a cop-out, right? My schedule is very chaotic. I haven't had much time to work on art unless I'm streaming. That was a sigh of disappointment. Xavier, yes, I made this model. I'm currently making it. Then like an hour and 40 minutes from scratch from Sphere. The tail needs more polygons. Thank you so much for the feedback. I really appreciate it. I have legit had somebody come to my stream before and say something like, it looks too unfinished. And I'm like, I am literally working on it right now. It's not finished, you know? So yeah. The tail is only low poly because it's a placeholder and also it hasn't been worked on, just been placed down. We're still in the blockout phase, which is low poly. And if you go too high poly in the blockout phase, you actually run the risk of getting an extremely lumpy, unclean, messy model, you know? It's not about having more polygons, it's actually about having less. I am a polygon minimalist. Is that a thing? It is now. I don't know if this is right, but you turn the model with the Griswirl swirly thing? What does that mean? Oh, okay, I missed that one. Refresh me how to place images on the axis. Okay, I also don't know what that question means. Do you mind rewording that question for me? Oh. Gotta be careful with that undo history line, as I'll hit it on tool accident. This leg is a mess. Putting the reference image on the axis around the model. Oh, you mean like when you rotate the model, the reference images also rotate? Is that what you're trying to do? If so, then I think you can just add in planes. So this is what I would do. I would just add in planes and then put the picture in as a texture, kind of like this. Kind of a plane, see? And like make it as big as you need it to be. And then I guess you would just go to texture. Maybe there's a plugin for this, but this is how I would do it. Texture, and then I would import the texture and put it on the plane. The plane's already UV'd to perfectly fit the texture to that plane. And then you can just do one to front and one side. Decimating a ZBrush sculpt only for when you plan to retopology in another app. Well, there's actually, I think, multiple scenarios in which I would personally decimate a model. For example, yes, whenever I do retopology somewhere else, or let's say I need a triangulated model for some reason, be it for like if I want it to be a piece in like Unreal, like now Nanite is a thing, so maybe I would consider that decimating it before I bring it into Nanite. I decimate it before I 3D print things. I don't know if that's normal. Probably is. That's how I do it. I decimate it before I send it to Chitterbox to print. Sometimes if I'm doing like background assets for games that don't really need perfect topology, I'll decimate. that one might be a secret, you know, but I'll decimate it like if I'm doing rocks or something. So there's multiple options, you know. If we need something triangulated. Sorry, forget about leaner. What I really see is that torso anatomy looks like perfect human anatomy, impressively so, but is it supposed to be a fantasy creature? So he's a fantasy creature with humanoid torsos. The only thing I'm gonna change is like to make it more dramatic with like spikes and striations and stuff. But it's still gonna be humanoid. I really wish I could show you guys my reference board because then everything would make sense. 3D printing doesn't need any quads? Not as far as I know. I've been able to do it with Decimation just fine. I wouldn't say I'm a 3D printing expert, but I have had lots of good results with my printer, my resin printer specifically. Demogorgon art is pretty varied, but they all have humanoid body. Is the resin as toxic as they say? I treat it like it's more toxic than they say. I'm very scared of the resin. I'm very, very careful with it. We follow very strict protocols when dealing with it, yeah. Oh, look at that. It is now 7 p.m., which means that I'm going to finish this stream and I'm going to start a new stream on my own personal channel, Anna Carolina Arts, both here on YouTube and Twitch. If you're interested in joining me for another 2-3 hours of banter and working on this Demogorgon as we flesh him out a little bit more, please feel free to go hop over to my other channel. So just to make sure that you guys are all going to the right place, I'll put the link to the channel right here. Right there. Alright? Also, we'll talk more about the challenge and things like that over there. So stop by. See you all. Oh, and if you're new here, make sure to follow the ZBrushLIVE channel. Tons of amazing, talented, beautiful artists stream here basically every day. Alright, everybody has different workflows. You should really watch and make sure to follow. Alright, I will talk. Should I raid the other stream? I don't know if that's allowed. I don't know. But maybe I'll try. Why not, right? And then I'll get in trouble later. Too. I don't think I even have the right to do so. Okay. Bye bye, everybody. I'll see you all later. Bye bye.